What can we take away from what we've seen so far in the World Baseball Classic and some of the performances by some of the players here? One thing and one name that just jumps out to me is Andrew McCutchen. We've been seeing the decline in his numbers in the last couple of years, and there was some talk, oh, this year's going to be different. And I know it's a small sample size, but so far in the World Baseball Classic, his numbers look just like they did in 2016. What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I'm not expecting a big bounce back from McCutchen this year. I wasn't feeling that way prior to spring training, and I'm definitely not after seeing him at the World Baseball Classic. I think, he's a solid fantasy asset, but the speed isn't coming back, so the steals aren't coming back. And that takes, even without the speed, some of his batting average is down for that reason. And I think he's a 20 to 25 homer player, but more of a 270 type hitter, and he's just not there being a lot of offense coming off a really powerful 2016 across baseball. He's not a special fantasy asset any longer. It's disappointing because I love McCutchen as a player, but I really think that's where we're at with him right now.
That's a shame. Meantime, yeah. Giancarlo Stanton, he hit a colossal home run with some serious exit velocity the other night at Petco Park. He is right now batting .400 with a 1,400 OPS for Team USA. Looks like he's bounced back pretty well from that late season injury. What are your thoughts going into this season for him?
Yeah, I have no concerns about Stanton early in the season. The truth about Stanton is that we'll just never know until August or September, because his thing is, he'll be great during stretches in the season, but he is a little inconsistent. But the big issue is he hasn't put together that, 150, 155 game, 45 homer season. It's in him. We're seeing that in the World Baseball Classic, but we won't know until September if he can stay off the disabled list. So no matter how well he plays at the WBC, owners have to know when they're drafting him that the potential for a 100-game season is very real with him.
Sure. And then besides that, how much do you put the rest of that lineup around him and put that against him? Because, quite frankly, we know the Marlins just aren't built like so many other teams.
Yeah, it's not a great lineup. I do really like Christian Yelich, and
yes.
I like him being around him. And I'm hoping Marcell Ozuna can find that form he showed in the first half of last year. And then D. Gordon's a bit of a wild card, coming off a bit of a lost season, but he has shown the ability to get on base, hit for average, right field bases. So it's the potential to be a good lineup at the top. I'm not sure. I agree with you. I don't think it's deep all the way through, but there are some interesting pieces around him at least.
Sure. What about Eric Hosmer? He's batting .455. His OPS is at 1227, going into a contract year with the Kansas City Royals. What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, Hosmer's someone who I have definite concerns about because he really slumped late last season, and he even had some good batted ball luck overall last year. And even with that, his numbers really weren't that special. So I view Hosmer, he's a little bit limited by his home park. I think he's a nice 20 home run type player. I want to see that batting average this year around 290 or 300. I think that's really the key for him. That'll decide whether he's a top 10 first baseman, which he definitely could be, or more of like the 15th or 16th first baseman, and that makes him kind of more of an ordinary type player. But it is nice to see him after that slow second half last year. It's nice to see him hitting well prior to the start of the season.